Hi YouTubers, this is Hamza Hassan Khan and I would like to show you that in India how roads are funded and how does the circulation going on. The history of road development was closely linked with the history of human civilization. People chose the most convenient and the shortest ways of approach to their hunting and fishing grounds, gradually making footpaths. So these people constructed the artificially tracks which were mostly made in mountainous and forest countries. And but in India, there are various centuries we have been going through, and in India, roads were developed during the following era: ancient periods, 3500 BC; Mughal period, 15th century; British period, 17th and 18th century; pre-India, 1950 onwards. Excavations of Indus Valley Civilization proved beyond doubt that Indians had the mastery in the science of road and construction even at that point of time. Roads were constructed in an orderly array with remarkable regularity. Roads had brick drains on both the sides with trim inspection chambers. During the beginning of the British period, the conditions of roads deteriorated. Military engineers maintained roads. Number of trunk roads were metalled and bridges were constructed. This was done mainly on the remains of the old roads. However, military maintenance was not quite adequate. In 1865, there was one of the Emperor Lord Dalhousie. The then Governor General formed Public Works Department. This new department undertook the construction of grand trunk roads. With development of railways, the British government used their political, financial and administrative powers to promote only railways. Just railways, only railways, but not roads. With the result, even trunk roads were not properly maintained. That's why these trunk roads are not maintained. However, the creation of PWD was a turning point in the history of road development in India. Even today, the PWD is the primary organization for highway planning, construction, and maintenance and many states in India, as you know. Tamil Nadu is one among very few states in India having an exclusive organization, namely Department of Highways for Highway Development in Tamil Nadu. So, in Tamil Nadu, there is no PWD. Now we are coming to the JACART committee. After the First World War, there was a sudden increase in the number of motor vehicles. So the traffic made on road a mixed one consisting of motor vehicles and animals-drawn vehicles. Consequently, the condition of roads deteriorated. This prompted both chambers of Indian legislature to pass resolution calling for appointed of a committee to examine and report on roads development in India. The resolution was passed in the year 1927. So the Indian Roads and Transport Development Association also requested the government to appoint a committee to advise the government on the policy in response to those resolutions. The Union government appointed a committee under the chairman of IMR Jayakar during the November 27. So, in accordance with the recommendations of the Jayakar Committee, a Central Road Fund was created on 1st March 1929. Consumers of petrol were charged an extra levy of 2.64 paisa per litre. The money from this fund was apportioned to various state challenges of accelerated funding requirement for all categories of roads in the country. The Central Road Fund have been augmented by increasing the levy of cess on petrol to rupees 1 per litre of petrol. So, and in charging a cost of rupees 1 per litre of diesel too. The Central Road Fund Act 2000 was notified on 17th December 2000 to give statutory status. So the Central Road Fund seeks to distribute the total of 100% of cess, CESS, on petrol and 50% of cess on diesel in the following patterns. Diesel in the following patterns that I am going to describe. So 57.5% for national highways, 30% for state roads, 12.5% for safety works on railroad crossings. Thank you. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is responsible for administrating the share of national highways and state roads. The remaining 50% of the cess on the diesel is to be used to develop rural roads from the generated fund. An intensive program for development of rural routes has been taken up. The CRF Central Road Fund is one of the sectioned rupees, one of the important sources of finance for road development in India. The ministry sectioned rupees 34.14 crore onto Tamil Nadu from CRF for 2005 to 2006. The CRF owes its constitution to the Jaikar Committee.